All right, good morning, everyone. How's everyone doing today? Welcome, welcome, hello, hello. It's the weekend, and it's a good weekend, and I hope that you guys are all having a good time, and I find you well today. Today is Saturday. Today is the 30th of October, 2021, and I'm Darkside Phil, and I welcome you here to my first of 2 gameplay streams for the day. Should be an interesting day, especially this first stream is going to be very, very chill compared to a lot of the streams that I've been doing lately, and being the first major Lost Judgment stream that I've done in over a month. Like, when the game came out at first, I was doing major streams of it, but quite a while ago, it became a late night stream staple. Over the course of October, you know, Lost Judgment was a really fun game that I played maybe 2-3 times a week at night, made some good progress. At this point, I would assume we're about halfway through it, or getting to the halfway point. Excuse me. I always thought that it was going to take several months to beat the game, and at this point, it seriously doesn't look like we're going to get any faster through it. You know what I'm saying? And that's fine. I always thought Lost Judgment would take probably 2-3 months to beat, because I'll be balancing it with all the other stuff that I'm doing, and the style that I play, which is basically enjoying as much of the side content that I can play and enjoy, as opposed to rushing through it, only doing the story, etc. I hope that you guys have seen in the playthrough so far with all these school stories that I've done, how much time I'm taking to get through the game and really enjoy the content. So today will be fun because we're doing that as the main stream, you know, and then tonight, continuing on with my only second run in House of Ashes and trying to do alternate choices to keep everyone alive this time. It could be pretty interesting. Okay, I'm pretty excited to see what happens tonight. Of course, tomorrow is what everyone's waiting for. Everyone is really excited for the Halloween marathon event. And I am too, of course. You know, it's going to be a good time. And many games will be played. Food will be eaten. Costumes will be worn. A very festive, fun time tomorrow. All day long. Should be great. And then, of course, this week, a new game, too, right? Which we don't know what we're doing yet. Really, it'll be determined tomorrow what new game I start playing on Monday. I was thinking about this last night. And I was like, you know, what game would I prefer to play? And I was thinking, well, Metroid Dread probably won't have much of a story. But I bet the gameplay would be outstanding, because Metroid always has had great, solid, and addicting gameplay. And I was like, well, Guardians of the Galaxy is probably the opposite. Guardians of the Galaxy probably is really entertaining to enjoy the story and the dialogue, but I bet you the gameplay wouldn't be as good. You know, it would kind of be a little crappy, grindy, action-based stuff. Maybe, you know what I mean? But then I was like, oh man, I'm playing 4 horror-themed games tomorrow. And if you really look at the month of October, even though it's coming to a close, I haven't done much horror-themed stuff this year. You know, last year we had the Amnesia Collection that had come out right before a new Amnesia game. So I played 3 Amnesia games back-to-back, plus there was Little Hope. So there were 4 horror-themed games all back-to-back in the month of September into October, and it really got us into the mood. This year, there hasn't been a heck of a lot at all. We had Alan Wake, which I guess you can argue is horror, but it's a game I've already played. And then we had Back 4 Blood, which I guess you can argue is horror, but not really. It's more of an action-based deal. And now we have House of Ashes. Yes, definitely House of Ashes is horror. Yes. But it's what I mean. Oh, yeah, guys are absolutely right. Someone just said, did I not put the webcam on? I forgot. You're absolutely right. I forgot. Hold on. I totally forgot to do it. Here we go. I'm not used to the new changes yet of having the webcam on for the pre-stream, so let me go ahead and switch over. There we go. What's up, everybody? Let's get the leaderboard here in the right position. Sorry about that. Thanks for reminding me. I totally forgot. So, we didn't have a lot of horror this month, honestly. Like, there was nothing that was scary. Like, Alan Wake isn't scary, especially when you've already played it once. Back 4 Blood certainly wasn't scary. It was more waves and waves of enemies, right? House of Ashes, definitely horror game. But we only had 1. So I am glad that we're playing all horror-themed stuff tomorrow. But the question is, out of all the horror games that I'm playing tomorrow, is there one that will resonate enough with the audience that you guys will want to see me do a full playthrough of it? Because here's the thing. when I do these horror marathons on Halloween, and by the way, I apologize. I'm trying to clear out my postnasal drip. It's a pain in the ass right now. My left nostril's completely clogged, swollen, sinus screwed up, and I got the postnasal drip going. Delightful, right? So it'll clear up over the course of today's stream, but it is what it is. I deal with it, and hopefully it gets better. So anyway, when I play these Halloween marathons, it's great to do a variety of horror games, but it's kind of disappointing that some of them I only play once. I never get back to them. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's been multiple games that I've played, like Dino Crisis, or Condemned, or, you know, there's these horror games. I play them for like an hour and a half. Okay, I see what they are. Kind of interesting. And then I never, ever go back to them at all, you know? So we never get to see them fully. And now, here it is, years later, people want to see them again. People want to see Silent Hill again. People want to see Condemned again because they liked it the first time, but I never got any further, you see? So, maybe the logical course of action, then, is to actually take one of the games from tomorrow that you guys like the most and play that as a full playthrough this week, okay? So let's see what happens. Let's see what happens tomorrow during the Halloween event. If there's a game there that makes more sense for me to continue and you guys are liking it, then we'll just do that for the week. Okay, we'll do that and we'll balance that with Far Cry 6 for good variety. Okay? So, but let's see. That's what I mean. Like, people are like, why don't you do a poll? Well, I'm not going to do a poll because you guys don't even know all the games that are really eligible. There's a mystery game tomorrow. All right? That's in the mix that you guys don't even know what it is that could be eligible as well. So, see, Guts just says you got to do a full playthrough of Condemned. See? Some people are campaigning for me to do a full playthrough of Condemned, which I would be okay with this week. I'd play a full playthrough of it. As long as you guys like it tomorrow, I would balance that with Far Cry 6 for the week. And then the night streams would be Lost Judgment and House of Ashes. So it'd be a good variety of stuff, right? Okay. By the way, you know something I'm going to do right now? Let me switch over here for a second. I'm going to make some room on my hard drive. Oh, my camera's so huge you can't even see. I'm going to get rid of a few games. Okay? Now, these games I've already beaten, and the upload should be in the cloud. So I'm going to get rid of, let's see here. Let's get rid of Back for Blood. I'm curious how much hard drive space I'm going to have when I uninstall a few games. Let's uninstall Alan Wake. And let's uninstall Super Monkey Ball Banana Mania. Alright, I went from... You can't see it because the webcam is blocking it. I guess I'll turn off the way here. I went from, like, almost 50% down to 36. So now I have 510 gigs free. These are the games that I'll continue to be playing over the course of the week. You know, Lost Judgment, Far Cry 6, House of Ashes, and then whatever the new game is, which we don't know yet. With Forza Horizon 5 coming up. Okay? Pretty cool. And by the way, people freaking out. Why are you freaking out? You guys realize that those games can come back at any time, right? Like, what? Why are you freaking out exactly? Oh my god, people are being silly. Also, I don't know what just happened. I group selected something. I don't even know how I did that. There we go. Okay. The way that it works on Xbox is very different from PlayStation. On PlayStation, you have to set it up to basically do like cloud saving and backing up of your files overnight. For some reason on Xbox, it's like automatic. Like it just does it. So any game that you play there, within like an hour, your save is already on the cloud and you're good to go. So I don't need to have to worry about, oh, I deleted those games and now all my save files are gone. It's not the case at all, actually. They stick around. So okay. So anyway, yeah, I'm excited to see what new game is coming this week that we're gonna play. I'll be honest with you, like, I'm kind of leaning towards a horror game. I kind of feel like I want to play, like, a full horror-style playthrough this week. But let's see what happens. I don't know if any of the games that I start playing tomorrow are going to hook people and want people to make me keep playing them or not, okay? All right. Anyway, so let's talk, everyone. Welcome to the stream. Announcement. Oh, my nose is so screwed up today. Announcement, if you were here yesterday, okay? In regards to the members' goal, let's talk. The month of October was not the best month for gaming, just being honest. Usually it's called Broketober because there's so many high-profile, crazy hyped AAA games coming out, there's no way you could possibly buy and play them all. This year was completely the opposite. There were very few high-profile AAA giant releases in October. Instead, it was remaster, re-release, HD upgrade, sequel to a franchise where every game's almost exactly the same. There really were no, must-buy games this month. Just being honest, you know, I played a bunch of games that I enjoyed, but really it was mostly chill streams and stuff like that. Just completely different than what we usually have in this time of year. It really felt like a different kind of year. It didn't feel like this was the fall gaming season. Like it never really kicked in or picked up. So because of that, it was hard to get people to come to the streams and become members, you know. If this month had a bunch of high-profile new releases, chances are we would have had a natural influx of people who want to see the new releases, and maybe we would have had more memberships. But it's not going to happen when I'm just sitting here playing remasters and re-releases constantly, okay? So that being said, we're near the end of the month. There was no chance we were going to hit the membership goal, okay? So I said, screw this. Let's just jump the gun, and let's get stuff going early, all right? So as of now, it started yesterday, but as of now, we are officially working towards our Christmas member goal here on DSPGaming. What does that mean? If we hit 300 memberships, total memberships, between right now and the end of November, so we have an extended amount of time for this to happen, but if we hit 300 members, which would be a record, right? I think that's the most we've ever had. The most we've ever had on the channel was like 290 or something like that. So that'll be our new record. We will be doing the Christmas Special Marathon event. What happens during the Christmas Special? A few things. First of all, I dress up in holiday-themed attire. I own a couple Christmas-themed sweaters. I may get a new one this year, and usually I dress up with a Christmas hat and just do silly stuff. That's number one. Number two, I drink, which I never do on stream, ever. But I drink during the holiday events. Usually it's some beer, some eggnog, and sometimes even some whiskey or something like that, holiday-themed, okay? Now, in addition to that, we have a bunch of games that I play, and usually it's games that you guys nominate and vote. You have the ability to nominate and vote for a game that you'd like to see me play during that event, and just like the Halloween Marathon tomorrow, it could be a variety of stuff. Usually it's 3 to 4 games that I play over the course of the day, okay? So if we hit 300 members in the next month, we'll be doing the Christmas event guaranteed, all right? Now, there will be a Tier 2 member goal for the month of November. The Tier 2 member goal is 325 members. And if we hit 325 members, my wife just turned on the shower. If we hit 325 members during the course of November, then we'll be doing a double reward during that marathon event. First, there will be a special Feasting with the King, where I will order out some food during that event and do a live episode of that, usually cuisine that I'm not accustomed to eating. But in addition to that, there'll be a live DSP Tries It that will be holiday-themed. So not only will you have holiday games and me drinking, but also a live meal and then a DSP Tries It near the end of the show. Okay? Cool, right? So, that's pretty awesome. And when does this event happen? Usually it happens either the weekend before or the week of Christmas. It never happens on Christmas because I want to spend the day with my family on Christmas. But usually it's right before then. So it's a cool special event that I like to do. So, if you've been holding off on becoming a channel member, you say, oh man, October's been kind of slow. I don't really want to become a member now because, you know, there's no chance of hitting the members goal for the month. Now, things have changed. Now, your membership as of today will count towards the big event for Christmas that everyone likes and everyone wants to see happen. So please consider becoming a member of the channel. You get so many benefits, including the following. A highlighted name in chat. You get to ignore the slow mode rules of the chat and talk however much you want. A cool chat crown badge to show how long you've been a channel supporter. Access to all of my emotes on the channel. In addition to that, you get priority access to various things, including priority to get your question answered when I do my bi-monthly Q&A show, Ask the King, as well as the ability to nominate and vote on things for special events. In this case, for the Christmas event, you'll have a priority to nominate and vote on the games that I'll play during the event, and the members of the channel will be picking one of the games themselves. Okay? So there you go. Oh, my nose is bothering me today. This really sucks. Okay. Snow Cooper. Trying to get you in there with all your emotes. There you go. Okay. So anyway, yeah. Many benefits to becoming a channel member. Please consider doing it. Don't hold off, especially if you're like, oh man, there's nothing good in October. Good stuff's coming in November if you're not aware. Forza Horizon 5 and the GTA collection alone are going to be giant, great games. And then on top of that, Battlefield coming out later in the month. So even though there's not a high frequency of new games coming out in November, the ones that are coming out are going to be quite good and are going to be a lot of content. So I think that, plus by the way, I should say this too. If November does slow down and there's not a lot going on and I have the opportunity, then I would definitely play some of these games that I've missed out on, like Metroid Dread or Guardians of the Galaxy, etc. These games that I wanted to play and it was just too busy in October when they came out, I will play them. So this is awesome that November is kind of like both a month with great new stuff, but also catch-up opportunities as well. Keep things positive. I didn't see your question. I was busy banning a troll and trying to get other comments approved. I did not see your question. I still don't see your question. I'm scrolling up. I must have totally missed it or something. Okay. So anyway, guys. Excuse me. That's what's going on right now, okay? Let's outline the schedule so you guys know at least what to expect for the next week. Today, a major stream of Lost Judgment. This will be a nice chill stream, a relaxing stream for us where we can interact and have a good time with the game. We're about to head into a major story arc of the game. So I figured this is a great opportunity to do a major stream of Lost Judgment, because if we're going to hit a major story arc, you don't want to do an hour or two of it and you're stuck with unresolved story and you didn't get through it, right? So that's why I wanted to do this as the major stream for today, okay? So that's number one. Number two, there's fun side content, okay? And the side content is going to be entertaining and fun and cool to do. And I'm excited for that. So I hope that you guys will join me for the side content that I'll be doing along with the main story. I'll try to balance it, basically. We got more school stories to do and all kinds of stuff. So we'll see how today goes. But it should be a nice, chill, 3+ hour stream of progress. Later tonight, on the late stream, it's my second run in House of Ashes. And what I'm trying to do this time is keep everyone alive. In the first run, I did not do a good job of keeping everyone alive. Almost everyone died right away. Like, seriously, right away, almost everyone passed away. And I was like, wow, I really sucked ass. I made the wrong choices. This time around, my goal is to try to keep everyone alive. So we'll see how that goes later tonight, 6:45 p.m. Pacific time. Tomorrow's the Halloween event starting at 10:45 a.m. in the morning. It'll run all day long. It'll be a great time with the costume reveal, ordering of food, because by the way, you guys have been voting all week long on the type of cuisine that I will be trying for Feasting with the King. As of this morning, okay, 42% of you have voted Mediterranean food. That's about 10% in the lead. I don't foresee more people coming to vote in the next 24 hours and changing that, even though Filipino food is only behind by, like I said, about 10%. It would take about 200 people to vote to change that. It looks like it's going to be Mediterranean food. So tomorrow we'll be ordering Mediterranean food together on the pre-stream. And then I'll be trying out Mediterranean food, some things I've never had before. You know what else I found out Mediterranean food has? Because last night my wife and I were looking up the different cuisines. Baba Ghanoush. I didn't even know what Baba Ghanoush was. I thought it was a funny word. Baba Ghanoush is Mediterranean cuisine. What it is an eggplant dish. I love eggplant. I'm Italian, and Italians absolutely love eggplant because it's a major part of their cuisine. I would love to try this eggplant dish, you know. So I'm excited to see how it goes. Baba Ghanoush. So I'm probably going to try some things like Baba Ghanoush, maybe some falafel and other things. It's going to be exciting ordering from the menu to see what we're going to do. So that's going to be happening. Then we're going to have games. I'm going to be playing 4 different horror-themed games over the course of the day, including Silent Hill, Five Nights at Freddy's sister location, Condemned Criminal Origins, that's the game that the members chose, and a mystery game, a 4th mystery game. So 4 games, horror-themed, over the course of the day, plus the live edition of Feasting with the King at some point during that, okay? So So it should be a great marathon, I feel. Good times, good variety of stuff we're doing, chilling, enjoying the scary vibes, okay? Then on Monday, I'm starting a new game. It's either going to be Metroid Dread, Guardians of the Galaxy, or one of the 4 horror games from Sunday. Let's see what happens tomorrow. Let's see the vibe that we get as I play these games tomorrow and see if any of the games really are interesting and you want to see me continue them during the week, okay? Pretty cool. So Monday, new game. Monday night, the continuation of Lost Judgment. It'll be a late stream on Monday. Tuesday, the continuation of Far Cry 6, which we're doing really good in. We're in the 3rd major part of the island right now, in the 3rd group of gorillas. We're making great progress, got good customized weapons now, and we're just kicking ass. So, looking forward to more of that on Tuesday. Tuesday night, continuation of House of Ashes, the 2nd run. And then on Wednesday, another helping of whatever the new game is, paired with more Lost Judgment, and that's my streaming week because I'm off on Thursday. And then, basically next week, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, okay? Well, again, we'll be focusing in on the new game and Far Cry 6. And then, on the 9th, which is... what day of the week is the 9th? Tuesday, okay? So a week from this coming Tuesday is the premiere of Forza Horizon 5, which I'm very excited for. All reports are that it's the best Forza Horizon game ever made. And the reports are also saying that it's the best graphics like that people have seen on a console in a very long time, that it's really outstanding looking. Digital Foundry couldn't even recommend a game mode to play. They were like, it didn't matter if we played performance or what's the other one? Like cinematic mode or whatever. They looked the same. Like, they look amazing. They both run at 60 frames. They both have insane detail. Like, we couldn't even really tell a difference, right? So that's pretty cool. I'm looking forward to that. And then just a couple days later, it's the Grand Theft Auto collection. So we got a lot of stuff going on, guys, a lot. And I'm very excited for all this stuff. It's going to be a great month. Like, November, I'm really feeling positive about this month coming up and all the stuff we're going to be doing. It's going to be a good time, okay? I hope, because we're doing all this stuff, it'll convince you to become a channel member if you're not yet. Really, because I want to get those numbers up. I want to see some growth. Sucks that we had stagnated growth. I had more growth over the summer playing, like, Fallout New Vegas than we had this month, because this month was all rehashes and remakes. It is what it is, right? Okay. Anything else? I was trying to think, are there any other housekeeping issues or any things that I really want to talk about today before we move on? I don't think so. And the thing is, like, right about now, I would talk about, like, gaming news, but I don't think there's much going on. Like, I've been following along, and I don't really see much or any gaming news going on. So, there's not much to talk about on today's pre-stream. Today may be an actually short pre-stream unless you guys have some things to discuss. What I guess we'll do, let me do my gratuitous plugs. Okay, we'll do my gratuitous plug segment, get this out of the way. And then whatever you guys want to talk about, if you have any topics of discussion or whatever to talk about on the pre-stream, we can talk about those, okay? So, ladies and gentlemen, I'm an independent content creator. What that means is I don't have any sponsorships. I don't have any partnerships. I don't team up with anyone. No one pays me money to advertise or shill their products. No one gives me games ahead of time, and I don't get paid for exclusive access so that way I can kiss a game's butt or anything like that. Purposely, I have separated myself from that entire kind of culture and practice on the internet. I'm just like you. I'm an honest guy, and I'm a gamer at heart. I've been a gamer my whole life. Grew up, playing games just like you guys. I don't get games early. I have to buy them on release day just like you. I play them on release day, and I give you my 100% honest opinions about what I'm doing every single time that I stream. You don't have to worry that what I'm saying is that I'm pulling punches or I'm kissing a game's butt, because I don't have to worry about, oh no, I said something that now I've upset a sponsor and I'll lose my livelihood. That's very much not the case. My livelihood is you. You guys who have liked what I've put out there for 13 years and counting. The fact that I am that transparent and honest guy when it comes to what I think about games, and that you can trust what I say on my streams to be truthful, because I'm just like you. I have no invested interest in either saying a game is good or bad, because I don't play that game. I don't. I don't, you know, so many content creators today are so reliant on supplemental income from sponsorship opportunities and things, and I don't do any of that stuff, okay? So, if you like that, if you like the fact that I put out daily chill streams, if you like the fact that I'm always giving you my honest feedback about a game, and you want to see that kind of transparent and honest content continue, then please consider supporting my streams and videos in one of the ways that I'm about to outline. And by the way, this also goes for those of you who watch my videos on demand, because I'm well aware that there are thousands of people out there who on a daily basis come and watch stuff on DSPGaming on demand. Please don't just rely on ad revenue. I'll say this up front. A lot of the games I've been playing recently, in particular Alan Wake and stuff like that, almost the entirety of the playthroughs have been claimed on YouTube because of music in the games. There's nothing I can do about that. Coming up, I'm going to be playing the GTA trilogy, all right? Those will be claimed 100% because I'm going to leave the music on. I will not make $1 of ad revenue on Grand Theft Auto. But I'm hoping that the crowdfunding that will come in during those playthroughs will more than make up for it, okay? I hope. So please consider contributing in one of the following methods. Number one, you can become a member. We already talked about that. I'm not going to outline that again because we already talked about it. I don't want to reiterate myself here, okay? But you can also do a super chat or a super sticker. If you're not aware, these are ways that you can contribute to the stream that give you immediate recognition because it highlights your message in the stream chat, okay? Gives you some cool notoriety in the stream. Oh, look at that. Nice highlighted message because I contributed via YouTube, okay? Memberships, super chats, super stickers are great ways to contribute to the channel and give it long-term support and growth. When you do those things, they do help the channel. I get benefit. It takes about a month to a month and a half because they have this behind-the-scenes kind of processing time for when you become a member or do a super chat or a super sticker. I get that like in the next month, okay? And I appreciate that. That is definitely consistent income. That's the kind of income that when I used to be on Twitch was very important to me because the sub income, the cheer income was that income I could depend on every month, okay? I'm trying to build back to where I was on Twitch, so membership, super chat, super stickers help with that. Please, if you like the channel, contribute in those methods. But being very matter of fact with all of you, okay? The best way to contribute to this channel is by tipping me. And there's two primary reasons why tipping is the best way to contribute. The first is because when you tip me, I get those funds immediately. A tip you give me today will literally pay for the food that I'm ordering for Feasting with the King tomorrow. See? I get it immediately. I can put it towards something like that, okay? But in addition, when you tip me, all right, I get more of a cut of what you tip me than any other contribution. Because on the internet, whenever you contribute to anyone, there's always a middleman involved. There's always someone who takes a processing fee or takes a cut. There's always someone who benefits from that outside of the person who you're trying to support, okay? When you tip me, I get more of the tip than if you do the other contribution methods. So if you tip me, thank you in advance. That helps out more. By the way, please, by all means, keep becoming members and keep doing super chats and super stickers because those help the channel too. And I know there's a lot of people who don't want to use PayPal, so those are other viable methods by which you can contribute, okay? Now, since tips are so important, we have tips goals in effect. If we raise $50 of tips, it's Gunner glasses. If we raise $100 of tips, I'll put on a hat of your choice. I'm not wearing headphones today. So, you know, we could do the camo, the digital, the fake hair, and the cowboy hat. Why not the pilot hat? I wore that last night. The M. Bison hat I wore for the Street Fighter stream, okay? But the other hats would all be eligible for today, okay? Excuse me. So, that being said, please tip if you can. That helps me. Thank you in advance. Now, one final thing, and I almost never mention this, but I feel like I should mention it because I always kind of push this to the back burner, okay? If you are someone who's not watching this live stream, but you're watching this video on demand on YouTube, because I know hundreds, if not thousands of people watch these videos every day, you could become a patron of mine on patreon.com. And that's a way that consistently will give me support, but you don't ever have to get any kind of, like, public recognition on the stream or anything like that. Most of the people who still remain people who pledge to my Patreon are people who are longtime supporters. They've been doing it for years and years, and they like my content. They don't care about, say, getting a pop-up on stream or anything like that. They just want to help out. So, check it out. Patreon.com/DarksidePhil. There are some perks that are available there. I don't really talk about them that much because, quite frankly, the only two perks that are really worth it at this point, if you do a $20 patron pledge, you get your question answered for sure on Ask the King, which is my bi-monthly Q&A show. Or for $50 a pledge, you get a private Q&A video. You get to ask me questions, and I'll make a whole private video for you answering those questions. It's like Cameo, only way cheaper because people on Cameo charge more than $50. Okay? So, consider it. If you're someone who watches on-demand video, and you're like, man, I like to contribute, but I don't really care about the stuff from streams, Patreon is a great way to do it. Okay? Okay. The only final thing I'll say, because I've been talking about this on streams the past couple of days, guys. Some people have asked what happened to my Teespring. I don't know. My Teespring is gone. I tried contacting them, and I've gotten no answers. So I don't know what happened. Basically, I'm getting ghosted kind of the same exact way that I was ghosted by Streamlabs earlier this year, when Streamlabs basically wouldn't let me take tips anymore. If they don't answer, there's nothing I can do about it. I've been asking for, well, I asked earlier this week, and I'm not really getting anywhere. There's no one to talk to at Teespring about this. What I do know is that Teespring changed their company earlier this year and became Spring. They don't even call Teespring anymore. Now it's just Spring. And apparently when they did this, they did a whole reshuffling of the company where, like, everyone is like, a lot of people who were there for a long time are gone. They have new people in management positions and stuff. And from what I'm to understand, the company kind of did like a culture shift, because I guess what happened was, like, the last few years, Teespring got into a lot of problems where it was found that they were selling products that were very politically motivated. You know, we're talking stuff that's, you know, Trump stuff and stuff like that, that people got very upset that they were selling it. So, I guess what happens is Teespring kind of clamped down on that stuff. And I don't know if that's what happened to me or not. I mean, the speculation is, my speculation is one of two things. Either someone hit my account with a bunch of false takedown requests claiming that they owned the artwork that I was using that on it, which would make no sense, because if I was getting takedown requests, I should receive them, but I got nothing. Or a bunch of people put in fake complaints saying things like, oh, Phil is a racist, and look, he has merch on his page that says the King of Hate, so you're purporting racism on your website and your business or something. Now, neither of these scenarios make sense. With the DMCA stuff, they would need evidence. They don't have any, because obviously it's all fake. That's false claims. With the other one, they've been selling my products for 4.5 years. When I first got set up on Teespring, this is, 2017, they had people who worked for Teespring working with me to set up my merch. They saw the designs firsthand and had no issue with them. You see what I'm saying? Like, they knew what was there, and they, I explained to them, no, this has nothing to do with hate or racism. I explained to them who I am, what the King of Hate moniker means, and all of that, so they all knew. And they sold my products for 4.5 years. Then all of a sudden, now they're not okay with it. What it sounds to me like is, sadly, this is exactly the same thing that has happened with all these businesses over the last year. They all decided collectively that they were going to basically be like, oh, we are going to basically, anyone who gets a complaint, we're kicking them out. You know what I'm saying? Anyone, whether even the complaint is even legitimized, okay? Even if it's legit or not, if we just get a complaint about someone, we're going to get rid of them. We don't want to deal with them. I don't know how that works, or how they think that that's fair, or how in any professional capacity that's acceptable. But it sure seems to me like that's what's going on. Because Streamlabs, I never did anything that would have ever violated Streamlabs code of conduct or anything like that, and they stopped taking tips, right? Twitch earlier this year kicks me out of the partner program with absolutely no evidence of anything wrong that they said that I did. They never provide any evidence, even after I requested it multiple times, which is illegal, by the way. And now Teespring apparently too, and it's like, well, what's the point? What is the point of continuously trying to sell merch if this could keep happening? You know what I'm saying? Like, if this happened on Spring, what if I go to a competitor and I set up a store and I put all my merch on there, and then the same thing happens, right? What I'd rather do is just wait. I don't have any new designs or anything right now anyway. Okay, admittedly, I haven't had any new designs on my store in over 2 years anyway. I make almost nothing on it. I mean, around this time of year, maybe I'll make $100 on overall on sales in the next like month to 2 months for Christmas, and then the rest of the year is like $40 every few months. Seriously, like it's nothing. It's like pittance compared to other people who push their merch and stuff. I never do that. Okay. So that's the thing. There's really no point in worrying about merch right now. I know some people have already asked me, will you set up a new store somewhere else? There are plenty of good competitors to Spring. But I've looked into it. There's at least 2 to 3 major competitors to Spring that are highly reviewed and everyone likes their merch and says that they're great to work with. So I'd be very, very happy to move my merch to a new site and stuff like that. But there's no point in doing it right now when I don't know what's going on. Why did Spring shut down my store and they won't answer me, right? If I don't get answers, there's no point in continuing on with another store. So what I'll likely do is just wait, and then eventually what I will do is set up a store somewhere else that's not going to be a bunch of morons. I'll probably even tell them ahead of time, hey, I'm a victim of online harassment. People say all kinds of false stuff about me all the time. Just so you know, you'll probably get a bunch of fake complaints, and none of them will have any merit. Just ignore them, you know. So I guess we'll see. But the thing is, I have no designs or anything. Like, if there would be one thing, if like, oh, I had a whole slew of new designs and now I can't sell them or nothing. I don't have anything. I won't bother. You know, I tell you guys all the time, I accept designs, and there used to be 2 or 3 people who would always submit designs, and there would be the new merch up there. I haven't really talked about my merch in like 2 years, so it's not a big deal to me. You know, I don't really care. The let's be honest here, the merch was really set up as fan service for you guys. It really was. It wasn't meant to be any kind of supplemental income. I was making like $2 on the sale of a shirt, $1 on a sale of a mug. So, yeah, I wasn't making anything significant from it, okay? You want to support my streams, you know how. You know, it sucks that you can't get a piece of merch right now, but it is what it is. It's not a big deal, okay? Okay. Shoutouts. Let's do some shoutouts. McDuff did a super chat asking, do I have to snort into the mic? It's nasty. Yes, in fact, the only way that I can properly clean my sinuses is to fully snort into the mic. It's true. It's absolutely true. McDuff, how about this? How about this? Okay? How about you fuck off? Thanks. You know, as if me having this medical condition is something that I want, or I want, like, I wouldn't like to control it so I don't have to do it, right? I love it. I love having postnasal drip. It's just very entertaining to me. And I realize it's a critical part of my streams to have it, right? You're a fucking idiot. Of course, I don't want to do it. You're a moron. What do you want me to do? I can't stop myself from having a medical condition on the fly. By the way, it's been like this every single time I've recorded for 13 years. You stupid idiot. Okay. Let's get to chips. We got Slayer, who started today's tipping with a $1.50 tip and says, Phil, I cannot wait to catch up on your Lost Judgment videos on demand. Sadly, it's 2 a.m. here, so I can't make it for this stream. Hopefully, you'll enjoy the long story and plot today. I'll catch up with your videos when it's morning here. Sounds good, Slayer. Have a good night. And, yeah, that's the cool thing. You can always get caught up, and you know there's going to be a lot of videos today. As a result of, oops, he actually did $1.50. As a result of it being a main lengthy stream, so good stuff. Okay, thank you. Then I received a tip from Review Tech Congo, who took me $1.50. Says, I love your streams. I do troll a little bit, but never anything crazy or offensive. I'm looking forward to hopefully seeing that Christmas stream that you're talking about. Me too. I love doing the Christmas event. I hope that we hit the members goal so that we can do it. Again, guys, if you become a member today, it counts towards the Christmas goal. That's what we're working towards starting now. So, okay. So, guys, some people are asking, what is postnasal drip? Postnasal drip means that you have phlegm pouring down the back of your sinuses, down your throat. You can't blow your nose and clear it because it's not in your nose. It's going down the back of your sinuses. If I do this, doesn't affect it. It still continues to pour down the back of my throat because it has nothing to do with my nose cavity. Okay? I can take decongestants. It doesn't help because it has nothing to do with congesting of my nose. it's still pouring down the back of my throat. You see what I'm saying? Like, there's no conventional way to solve it. People who have really, really bad postnasal drip, I knew a kid who had it insanely bad, okay? Insanely bad. And he basically, like, every time he talked, his whole throat was full of phlegm. It was disgusting. And I felt so bad for the guy because it was just a medical condition. It's like, dude, that's terrible, you know? Luckily, mine's not that bad. Mine, what happens is I get days that are worse and days that are better. I think it has to do with different factors, like environmental factors, like the weather, the amount of dust in the air, that kind of stuff. Like right now, my left sinus is swollen, completely swollen on me. And that agitates the condition. Some days, I don't get it at all. Some days I wake up and I'm fine. And by the way, it's hereditary. My dad has it. My dad has had it his whole life. And same thing for him. It flares up, and some days it's terrible, and some days it's not. Depends on the season and depends on what's going on. Right now, I think the reason I probably have it is because it's cooler, and we have our heat on in the house. So with the dry heat on constantly, it affects everything. It affects the air and everything, and I think that it's causing it to get worse. So, what are you going to do? It's a medical condition. There's absolutely no way to clear it. Some people recommend, flushing your sinuses and doing this and doing that. I've tried different things over the years. None of them work. There is a way to cure it, probably involving some high-end, expensive medical procedure that I can't afford and insurance doesn't cover. So I just live with it. I've lived to deal with it. And I've had this my entire life. It's, as I get older, I notice, it gets a little bit worse because I'm getting older. It's going to get worse. Like anything, any medical condition you have as you get older gets worse. It's just fact of life, okay? I've had it for 13 years. I think what happened is before I did direct capture and live streaming, when I was recording with that camera in front of me, you couldn't really hear it. Why? Because it's shit quality audio, right? It was terrible quality audio. Like, really bad, okay? So if you got echoing audio and you can't really hear anything anyway, just booming sound like you're in a cave, obviously you're not going to hear when I'm snorting and doing things to clear my sinuses, right? Right. When I became direct capture streamer and I upgraded my equipment, I think it was 2015 when I actually got this microphone and stand and this soundproofing foam for the room, and I did all these changes. The audio quality dramatically improved, but then you started hearing it back. So this has been like this for 6.5+ years. You've heard this, okay? And just so you guys know, I can't change it. Like, what can I possibly do? I've tried everything. I told you, I tried taking decongestants, doesn't help. I tried changing the environment, doesn't help. There's bad days and there's good days. There's nothing you can do about it. I've learned to live with it, excuse me. And maybe one day if it gets so bad, okay, if it gets so bad, I would have to get like surgery or something for it. But it's manageable. Like, to me, it's manageable. It doesn't affect my life so badly that I can't enjoy life. You know what I mean? It's not like some debilitating illness. It's just an annoyance. I apologize that you have to hear me every once in a while. On a bad day like today, when it is bad, it's bothering me right now. And I have to every once in a while clear it out so that I can actually breathe and talk. I'm sorry about that. I know it's disgusting. I don't like it either. But you know what I mean? Like, it's just... it's life, man. Let's see here. Will the Christmas tree tradition return? We don't actually set up a big Christmas tree anymore. Why? Jasper. Jasper would likely jump into the giant Christmas tree and make a big mess. We get a little tree, and for 2 years we had a little tree, and then it broke. So we have to get another small tree this year. The smaller tree, he doesn't jump in. But the smaller tree's nice. We put it up on like an end table, and we put decorations and stuff on it. But yeah, we don't actually have a big tree anymore. What can you do? You get pets, you adjust your life, right? Review Tech Congo tipped another $4.20. It says, I wanted to add, it sucks that I missed the Street Fighter stream. It was a date night with the girlfriend. I'm going to be sad when and if you stop playing it, and I'm sure others than myself will understand. Well, right now, there's no signs of me stopping playing the weekly Street Fighter streams. I'm having fun with them. People seem to enjoy them. They come out for them and support them. So there's no reason for me to stop that. Now, I did dabble with the fact that maybe if I get so busy with a ton of games that maybe we'll put it on hiatus or delay it. We've done that before. There's been entire months where I haven't played Street Fighter because we were in the midst of so many new release games. This month wasn't the case because, again, this month was all remasters, re-releases, and stuff. Really didn't need that Friday night. We just didn't. We could have the Friday night every week to do Street Fighter. So that was fine. Okay? Okay. Kevin Bernstein, to me, $4.20 says, it could be due to poor nutrition or lack of vitamins. I can tell you right now it's not. I take several vitamin supplements. I take multivitamins, I take vitamin C, and I take vitamin D. I take all that because, you know, vitamin C, you need a boost, especially these days, you know, trying to stay healthy. Vitamin D is because I don't go outside enough. I don't get enough sunlight, so vitamin D, taking a supplement, replaces the fact that I'm not outside to get natural sunlight. And, of course, the multivitamin is just good for you in regards to just general health. Now, he also says zinc supplements and antioxidants can reduce inflammation. A long time ago, I used to take a zinc supplement. I'm trying to remember what it was. Because I did have one a long time ago. It tastes terrible. I remember taking these zinc tablets. They were bad, man. They had, like, terrible flavor. It tastes like straight up metal. Like you're swallowing a piece of metal. One second, because I think I will try to blow my nose to see if I can make this feel a little better, because this is very annoying. I hate this post-nasal drip. Give me 1 second here. I'm just going to mute the mic. I didn't realize I didn't have any tissues in here. I had to go to the hallway, and then Jasper was out there, and he was wiggling around like a worm on the rug. It was funny. Anyway, okay. So, Chicken Man is to me $1.50. He says, sadly, people don't understand not all medical conditions are easily curable. I have acid reflux so bad. I take prescribed medications, and it still doesn't always help. There are nights that I wake up, it's hard to breathe due to acid, and some days I cough nonstop. These are medical conditions, and they suck. Yeah, and the thing is, not every medical condition is like a debilitating illness that is apparent all the time. And not all of them are things that you can easily fix or do anything about, you know? Like, for example, I have high levels of uric acid in my body, also called gout. This is something that is a result of both genetics as well as lifestyle. And I didn't know that I was genetically prone to it because I didn't know my aunt had it. In fact, no one knew my aunt had it until I got it about 6 years ago. I had a flare-up out of nowhere. I was like, what's going on with my foot? I don't understand what's wrong. Went to the doctor, found out what it was, start asking around. Oh, my aunt has it. Her whole life. Never told anyone. Oh, well, if I had known that I was prone to it, maybe I would have watched my lifestyle, right? But I didn't know. So now, my entire life, no exaggeration, I have to watch what I eat and drink, and I have to do supplemental things to lower my uric acid levels. For example, I have to drink cherry juice. Cherry juice actually has anti-inflammatory properties and lowers uric acid levels of your body. So I have one large glass of tart cherry juice a day, and it actually helps with this condition. I have to make sure that my diet is balanced and I don't eat too much of things that cause uric acid. For example, red meats, shellfish, those kind of things are very high in uric acid. Also, if I eat way too many fatty foods, greasy fried foods, or cheeses, that also can make a flare-up happen. And in addition to all of that, alcohol. If you drink too much liquor, or beer or whatever, that can also, it doesn't really cause it, but I think what they say is it makes it worse. So if you have it or you're having issues with it, it'll make it worse. It'll compound the issue. So I have to watch all these things. And before I knew I had this condition, I never did. I was a guy who would go out and eat a giant steak. You know, I actually, when I lived in Connecticut, I would go get the prime rib and shit. This ginormous slab of meat, slamming it down in front of me. I would eat the fucking thing, you know? That was me. And then when I found out about this, I had to adjust my lifestyle. Now, would you know that I had it? No. In fact, I don't look like the kind of person who gets it, because they call it King's disease. Because typically the kind of people who get it are people who, like, let's be honest, they overindulge themselves. They're sitting around overeating constantly. They're sitting around doing things that are horrible for their lifestyle. You would think that, like, someone who's, like, grossly overweight or something like that, those are the people who would get it. And I'm, you know, really, if you look at me, yeah, am I slightly overweight? Yeah, but I'm not like that. I'm not necessarily the stereotypical kind of person who would get it. For me, it's more of, because it was actually more of my genetics than anything else, that it happened. So, but that's what I mean. Like, people have diseases like this, and you don't know. How would you know? That's why I always say to people, when you are kind of like being mean to someone for something that is, like, not their fault, you have to understand that, like, that person is suffering. You know what I mean? Like, even if they don't externalize their suffering, they're suffering, man. This postnasal drip, I hate it. It really, like, it makes my life miserable half the time. Sometimes, and this is not kidding, I'll sit down to eat a meal, a nice home-cooked dinner, all right? And I sit down to eat it. All of a sudden, my postnasal drip kicks in as I try to eat the meal. And now it's like, oh, God, I'm trying to eat, and it's disgusting, and I can't taste the food as well because it's going down there. Now I'm like, oh, God, I'm trying to clear my throat, clear it out. It's just, it's nasty. It's not something I want to have. I want to get rid of it. I can't. What am I supposed to fucking do? I'm already suffering from it. Why would you then, on top of that, compound it by making fun of or deriding the person who has the condition? You know what I mean? You know what they say is that you never really know what someone's going through. And you don't know what personal struggles or private struggles someone might be fighting. So why would you be fucking nasty to a person over something as stupid as that? You know what I mean? Do you think I want to sit here and make this noise all day? No. You know? No. But I have to deal with it. You know? Carlos says the young people never take these problems seriously. One day they'll wake up and start experiencing these hardships themselves. You're right. And that is true too. I will definitely say that. I will definitely say this. What I've noticed is when you're younger and you don't have any health problems and you're not getting older, you don't have any weight problems, health problems, everything's easy for you, right? Because you're young, your metabolism's good and everything. It's so easy for you to be a judgmental dick and to make fun of others for their shortcomings or the things that they're going through. But then as you get older, you get wiser. You realize that everyone kind of goes through this stuff. And you realize that, like, you know, what it is it wasn't until, man, I'd say probably 5 years ago that I started seeing people from their perspective and starting to walk in other people's shoes and seeing what other people were going through rather than just seeing it from my own narrow tunnel vision perspective. I started seeing more big picture stuff. And once I did, my worldview changed. And now it's like, why am I going to sit here and be nasty to people when I could be positive? Why am I going to make fun of people for things that they are suffering from? Like, that's one of the most fucked up things you could do in life, you know? And again, you never know. You literally never know what's going to happen to you or when it can happen. So you should be careful about what you say and do because it could come back to bite you. It could be karma, you know? For years, you make fun of someone who has a health issue. Oh, you think it's funny. And then you end up getting health issues yourself. You're like, wow, well, now I feel real bad because now I know how they felt because now I'm in that situation. You know what I mean? So, yeah, it is what it is. I hope that you guys would not, be like that. Or at least you would listen to someone like me who talks from experience and you would learn a little bit and learn not to be so nasty to others because, you know, I understand, oh, it's disgusting to hear you snort into the mic. That's nice. Well, guess what? Postnasal drip is a constant. It keeps going. It's like a faucet that's dripping. I can't turn it off. I can't make it stop. So what do you want me to do? Have a mute button that every second I'm tapping the mute button just in case I'm going to have to clear? Like, this is what I mean. These dumb kids. This is what it is. It's dumb kids. Oh, you should just mute the mic every single time you need to clear your throat, blow your nose, clear, snort to clear your sinuses. Just keep tapping the mute button. Just keep tapping it like this, right? Like, what the fuck? Like, yeah, my whole stream will just be muted because I don't even know when I'm gonna do it. That's the thing. This thing it's a natural reflex to clear something that's annoying you or blocking. It's a self-defense mechanism of the body. You don't ignore the dripping, you clear it out so you can continue to breathe properly, right? So I don't even know when I'm gonna do it, but I'm supposed to fucking know, oh, I need a fucking, a mute button to just keep tapping. Keep tapping the mute, keep tapping the mute. Like, what the fuck are you talking about? I've been doing streams for, videos for 13 years, streams for 8 years, and I've been a full-time streamer for 4.5 years. If you're not used to it yet, maybe you're the problem. You ever think of that? Really? Anyway, Kevin Bernstein took me $2. And he says, gout can be dangerous. I believe it affects your bones. It can be fatal. Yeah, the last thing you want, if you're someone who has constant gout flare-ups, that's bad. Because gout, what happens is, crystals, actual acidic crystals form in your joints. And in a short term, if you get a flare-up, it's not a big deal. But if you're someone who gets chronic flare-ups all the time, it can actually affect your bones and your joints. It's absolutely correct. The last thing you want is to be someone who's constantly suffering from gout flare-ups because it could actually damage your body permanently. Luckily for me, that's not the case. Rare when I get a flare-up these days because of the adjustments I've made to my lifestyle. With, like I said, I drink that cherry juice. That cherry juice actually works. I have scientific proof it actually fucking works. I didn't know it first when I started drinking it like 6 years ago. I absolutely positively know it works because I'll give you an example. There was a time when I couldn't get it for a while and I got a flare-up. I was like, you gotta be fucking kidding me. I've changed nothing. I'm actually not eating red meat. I'm not drinking. I'm not eating shellfish. I just couldn't get the cherry juice and I got a flare-up. Then I got the cherry juice and the flare-ups went away, gone. So the cherry juice actually works. As much as I didn't know. I thought it was maybe it was a myth or you want to say the homeopathic remedies or no. The cherry juice legitimately is a scientific way to treat the condition. But anyway, yeah. Basically, luckily for me, Kevin, it's not that bad. There's some people who have it real bad, but they just can't stop it. They constantly have this issue. I don't, luckily, because of the lifestyle changes I made and everything. Thank God I made them, too. Because, I was going down a real bad path for a while there where I was just doing whatever I wanted, drinking way too much, eating terribly all the time. And thank God that I just don't do that anymore. It could have been way worse. Now that I'm getting older, I'm almost 40 years old. I'm going to be 40 soon. I can't be doing that shit all the time. You know what I'm saying? Okay. All right. Well, anyone else have any other topics to discuss? I'm going to go on a very brief break. I don't have to go on a longer break or anything today, just a couple of minutes. I'll probably just see how my wife's doing because my wife's going to go to work soon, so I want to see how she's doing and probably just use the restroom quick. But anyone have anything else they want to talk about? Tom says, do I not eat dessert anymore? As I've gotten older, I'm not a dessert guy anymore. I'm really not. Like, as I've gotten older, I just don't think of dessert that much anymore. When I was young, I used to crave sweets and chocolate and these things. The one thing I still like is chocolate. If there's chocolate, I'll eat it. I don't crave it or ask for it. But if there's chocolate around and it's offered, I'll have it. I love chocolate. But outside of that, like, I really don't crave sweets or nothing. I almost never eat dessert. Almost never. Like, it's a huge rarity if I would. Kevin, has done a $2 super chat and says, hold on, it scrolled off the screen. God bless cherry use. It's funny how there are natural answers to these things all around us. There really are. And we just don't know because a lot of it's not necessarily well documented. Like, the cherry thing, you can eat a ton of cherries a day and get... To do it, like, oh, I'm gonna buy a giant bag of cherries and eat like 20 cherries a day, or you could just buy cherry juice and drink it. The cherry juice obviously is more expensive, but do you really want to sit here eating 20 cherries a day, filling your stomach with cherries? Probably not. You probably would just have the juice, right? But it really is funny to me that like something as simple as that, one glass of cherry juice a day, it's a big glass, but one glass of cherry juice a day solved this problem for me. And it's so simple. But, You would never think that that would even work, but it does. Pretty crazy. Yes, John, it's Lost Judgment during the day today, and yes, this is an oddity that we're doing this today. What is wrong with my neck? There's nothing wrong with my neck. What are you talking about? There's nothing wrong with my neck. Sounds like you're being stupid. Thoughts on Eternals being rotten on Rotten Tomatoes? I don't know. What is Eternals? I don't know what that is. Is it a new Marvel show? Or something? Let's see. Gut says, should I tune into your upcoming Forza streams even though I don't like Forza games that much? For me, the Forza streams are silly fun when you do the big stunts, but the rest of the time, it's just so relaxing. And I mean it, like driving around a beautiful landscape with this nice, almost like trance music playing and enjoying the visuals and just driving around unlocking fun cars. There's really no like stress to it. It's not a stressful game. There are challenges that could be challenging that are fun to see me fail, but for the most part, it's a very just relaxing, open world, chill time. Of all the games that I played, like I think that was one of the very first games that I considered a chill streaming game, and it kind of opened me up to the possibility of having other games like that. So if that's what you like, I think you're gonna like the playthrough, even if you don't care about the cars and stuff. Only Fear of Death says, please do not stop doing the Street Fighter throwback streams. I think having a day where you play a game you're best at is really refreshing. I agree. Every other stream I do during the week is me dicking around with a variety of games that I'm not very good at. Usually it's just trying to get through a playthrough or whatever. There we go again. There goes the post-nasal drip again. But I agree, having the Street Fighter streams every Friday night, something that I'm actually pretty good at. You know what I'm saying? Something that I'm actually pretty good at, and it's something specialized that you guys can enjoy, right? I like that. I like having a game that I actually have some expertise at because of the level of experience that I have in it. So I agree with you. I want to keep it around. The sad fact is that, you know, one of these days, no one's going to be playing that collection anymore, right? What I'm hoping is that eventually there will be another collection to replace that one, because for the longest time there was no version of those games on consoles. I want to keep playing the classic Street Fighter games, you know. Orange Cast is considered drinking pomegranate juice too high in antioxidants. Pomegranate juice does not help. The reason that the cherry juice happens is two reasons, okay? Number one, anti-inflammatory properties. It actually has a natural chemical in it that if you have inflammation in your body, it lowers the levels of inflammation you have. Number two, it actually stops the uric acid buildup, which is the problem that causes the swelling in the crystals. You see, I understand what you're saying. Antioxidants are good for the body. They wouldn't solve this problem. It's not about the antioxidants. Ew, eyelash in my mouth. Ew. Okay. All right, here's what we'll do, guys. Let's take a brief break. It won't be a long break. Just a couple minutes. I'm going to run, see how my wife's doing. Like I said, use the restroom quick. Grab a drink or a snack yourselves. But don't go anywhere. I'm going to be right back in just a couple minutes, and then we're going to start up with Lost Judgment, okay? I mean it. Like, some people, they take off during this break. Like, why are you going anywhere? Just stick around. I'm about to start. Like, literally, I'm just going to go next door, piss, and then see what my wife's doing, and then that's it. I'm coming right back, okay? So don't go anywhere. I shall be back shortly with Lost Judgment. Sound good? Thanks, guys. I'll see you in just a sec. Cool.